The monster readies its fist to punch Ong as he dashes to it. Ong dodges the punch with ease. He returns a punch back to the monster, causing it to roar. He thinks that he didn't respond quick enough. The monster tries to kick Ong, but he dodges by bending backwards. He switches the knife to his left hand, turns over from the bent position, and stabs the monster in the stomach while thinking that his body coordination is poor as well. The monster shakes in pain and tries to claw at Ong, but he takes the knife out, leaping to the side, and slices the monster right in its mouth. The monster falls to the ground as Ong lands behind it, thinking he still doesn't have enough explosive power. The others look at him from the back. Snow says that he thinks Ong was just playing with his opponent, while Tomo hopes she captured Aang's fight on camera, and Siddhu thinks Ong just wanted to take the spotlight and was doing it on purpose. Up on the walls, Jel asks who the scrawny boy was and said that he was impressive. Joe adds on that Ong moves like a veteran as all three leaders looked at Ong. Jean remains silent. Back at the battle, Ong is sweating hard. He wipes his sweat, concluding that with this new body he would not be able to use any of his old skills, and that after moving a while he had already ran out of breath, making it worse. He takes a step forward as he finishes assessing himself. The monster was bleeding all over as Ong rushes towards it, telling it that it's time for it to die. But before he could reach it, something came out from the ground. The red spike appeared right before his eyes. It pierces the monster straight in its stomach as Ong was blown away from the impact. The team looks at it, wondering what it was, as the tree roots surrounds them. A clawed hand emerges. Within the monster's body was 2 claws. It rips it apart, showing another monster inside. Ong is shocked to see this. The new monster slowly comes out. It lets out a bloody scream that could be heard all the way to the city. The leaders sense it. Jean felt it and showed signs of fear. He shouts out loud, "One fin demon." He orders all cadets to retreat to the city. The cadets all run for their lives in fear. Jel and Joel jumps down quickly, landing on the grounds below. Dust covers the area from the impact of the jump. Both of them quickly run towards the cadets who were retreating. Jel tells them not to panic and to stay beside leader Jean, as he will escort them back to the city. "Human? But I smell a demon?" said an eerie voice. Ong looks at it, terrified, wondering what it was saying. The monster walks slowly and asks which one. It gave off a hellish aura as it walks to the team. Snow, Tomo and Siddhu all shake with fear as Siddhu compares the no-fin demons earlier, that it was nothing compared to the one-fin demon. She visualizes that from its aura alone it could rip her into pieces in a blink of any eye. She couldn't even move her body. The monster stands tall in front of Ong as he thinks that his current body is no match for a one-fin demon. For the first time, Ong was experiencing what normal warriors felt when facing a fin demon. The monster counts as it put its clawed hand up. A bright red light emerges from each of its fingers as it wants to bring all of them back with it. A fast laser hits all 4 of them in the head. They lose consciousness, and all fell to the ground. The monster looks back as the tree root behind it cracked. Leader Jel and Joel breaks through the tree roots. Joel shouts at the monster, telling it not to touch the cadets. It laughs at his face. As the leaders rush to the cadets, the tree roots surround themselves around the monster and the cadets. The monster smiles as the roots covers it. It's said by as the monster and cadets disappear into the ground. The leaders are shocked that a monster had taken 4 cadets. The ground near the hole swells up and starts to move, alerting the leaders. Joel says to go after it. Deep in the forest, Leader Jel and Joel inspects the ground tunnel, seeing that it finally stopped. Jel tells Joel that Jean had checked the place 7 days in a row to make sure that a one-fin demon would not appear, so how did one come? Looking at the tunnel, Jel curses, saying this has never happened before. A figure from above calls their names as they look up. Jean had arrived and was asking where the cadets were. He shouts at them, asking why they stopped searching and that they should continue chasing after them. Joel asks Jean to calm down and tells him that the tracks stopped here. Gel added on by saying that the demon dug underground once it reached this point as Jean inspects the tunnel. Jean touches the track. A memory of his younger brother comes into his mind. "Bastard!" he yells as he smashes the ground. He talks to himself saying it's his fault and that he should have checked properly. "It's all my fault," he screams. Joel tells them that they should head back as the people in the city will be panicking and that the three of them can't be away from the city. Gel stays silent. She then comforts Jean saying none of them wanted this to happen and that he needs to calm down. Jean pushes her hand away from him gently. He slowly stands up and tells them both to go back and that he'll search for the cadets a little longer. Joel asks Jean to stop. But Gel interrupts him telling Jean to make sure he comes back before sunset. Jean with a sad face turns to her and says, "Yeah, I know." He runs into the fog. Gel tells Joel that they wouldn't be able to convince Jean to stop and Jean scratches his head agreeing with her saying that Jin's little brother was taken by a demon in the past and that he had been blaming himself for that ever since. She then says that if Jin's younger brother was still alive he would be the same age as the cadets. Looking at the sky, she says that Jean thinks of the cadets as his younger brother. In a dark cave someone wakes up. It was On. He wonders where they were. He looks around and sees everyone tied up, but at least they were alive, he says. A voice from the darkness whispers to Am, "You woke up?" Am quickly turns his head and sees the one-fin demon behind him. Am struggles to free himself while the demon walks past him saying that Am woke up so quickly making him different. Am notices a piece of bone on the ground while the demon walks in front of him saying it was very curious. But something blocks his mouth. The demon slams Ang hard into the pillar he was tied to making it crack. It holds Ang's face close and asks him why he smelled like a stronger demon than it. Ang replies, "What the fuck are you talking about?" as it squeezes his face. Ang releases his red aura making him free from the restraints and causes the demon to fall back. He quickly lands on his feet and grabs the sharp bone. He slices at the demon but it dodges it easily. The demon readies its claws saying how lively. It swings its claws at Ang but Ang dodges it with a backflip. He quickly backs away from the demon, thinking to himself that if it was the him from the before he could have taken the demon's head before it could even react. He also has to save the other three. Once again Ang rushes towards the demon. He analyzes the demon as a red cord making it agile with flexible joints that allow for quick reactions and attacks. "That's useless," the demon said as it reaches out with its claws. Ang tilts his head hoping to dodge. But the demon's claw pierces through him. Ang holds onto the demon tightly with its claws in his body as this was the only chance he had. He spots the weakness and stabs the demon in its joints. He holds the arm tightly and rips it out. The demon yells as Ang looks at it and says that it shouldn't have looked down on him as he had killed a ton of one-fin demons before. But the demon smiles. It knees Ang in the stomach with extreme force, causing he cough up blood as his eyes turn white. The demon flings Ang across the area with dust all around the place. Deep in the dust there is a hole in the wall. Ang's blood was splattered from the impact on the wall as his body just sits there not moving. The demon tells him he may know its weakness, but it was a wood type with a red core as its arm regenerates. "I can mend myself," the demon says as its arm completely heals. Ang opens one of his eyes and sees that it can heal itself. He was shocked to know that the demons have evolved after half a century. "You're the one that looked down on me," the demon says. It bends its clawed finger. Spikes rips into Ang from the wall behind him. The demon calls it to come as Ang's body is sent flying towards it with the tree roots. The demon grabs Ang's head. Ang glares at the demon as it holds his head. The demon lets go of Ang's head saying it doesn't understand him and to forget it. Ang looks at the ground in a blurry state believing that the spikes had punctured his internal organs and that it was so painful to the point he couldn't breathe and that he was gonna die even though he just reincarnated. He looks at his teammates thinking they would die too. He recalls his past memories of his teammates dying in front of him. Ang says, "I'm sorry everyone," as his eyes slowly close. He laughs as his blood drips on the ground, saying he couldn't accept this. The demon looks at Ang and sees that he was dead, calling him a weak human. It wonders if it will evolve if it eats Ang. The demon opens its mouth wide and decides to eat Ang. But a figure appears, releasing a strong aura from Ang's body, asking the demon if it would eat him. The demon senses the powerful energy and immediately backs away from Ang. A voice from Ang's body says, "You can't die here like this, or else all my plans will go to waste." The red core cracks. The mysterious voice continues to say, "I can't believe that the last silver of my consciousness would be used here like this." The demon shrieks at the terrifying presence. The demon realizes the power was increasing from 5 fin to 6 fin and more as Ang's body is covered in a deadly red aura. Ang's body completely heals as the red aura enters his body, slowly changing him. One by one. Soon Ang completely changed. He opens his eyes, and a huge red pillar emerges from him. It pierces the ground straight into the sky. Demons around the area were shocked by it. The aura reaches the demons and erases them from existence. The red pillar of aura slowly disappears as the red energy converges deep underground. A red demon is floating in the air and says, "I am the only 8-fin demon that exists. The Crimson Crystal's strongest existences. Your king." The 1-fin demon stutters, calling the red demon an 8-finned and its king. "Kneel," the red demon says. And it kneels before it. "Speak my name." "Crimson Fin King," the demon replied. The Crimson Fin King was Ang.